Okay, there we go. So person, place, thing, or idea, that's the same thing in English. But in Spanish, nouns have a gender. And just like in English, they also have a number. What's the gender? What do I mean by that? All nouns are?
Like masculine and feminine.
Absolutely. All nouns are masculine or feminine. Okay, all nouns are masculine or feminine. And number, all nouns are singular or plural. So that means how many types of nouns do we have in Spanish? 4, because they could be masculine singular or masculine plural, feminine singular or feminine plural. Okay? So they could be 2 different things. Masculine singular or feminine singular, and then masculine plural or feminine plural. Okay? So before we get into nouns a little bit more, we're going to talk about different articles. We have definite articles and indefinite articles. Definite and indefinite. Okay, because we have 4 types of nouns, we have 4 types of definite articles. El, la, los, and las. Now all 4 of these mean the same thing. They all mean the. They're definite articles. When you are talking about a specific thing, you use a definite article. So maybe you noticed before I said saquen, which means take out. Saquen el vocabulario. Take out the vocab. I was being specific. Why did I use el? Because the word vocabulario is masculine singular. So el we use with words that are masculine singular. La we use with words that are feminine singular. Los we use with words that are masculine plural, and las with words that are feminine plural. So like I said, all of those mean the. They all mean the, but depends on the type of noun you have, is the type of article you're going to use. Masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. Okay? Make sure we're taking these notes down. Zach? Okay? It's really important. So then we're going to move on to indefinite articles. How many indefinite articles are there? 4. We have un and una and unos and unas. Un and una are a or an. Unos and unas mean some. Some. So whereas definite articles we're talking about a specific thing, indefinite are non-specific. I said you may want to take out the notebook to take notes in, or take out a piece of paper. A piece of paper, that's indefinite. So why are there 4? Well, un refers to nouns that are masculine, singular. Una to nouns that are feminine, singular. What's what? A comma an. They mean 2 things. A or an. A or an. Unos refers to masculine, plural, and unas to feminine, plural. So we have 8 different types of articles based on our specific or non-specific, definite or indefinite. Ready? So sometimes those articles can tell us the gender of our noun as well. That's the best way to do it, but that's what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to talk about nouns that are living things. So we're going to categorize these by masculine or feminine. Masculine or feminine. So you probably know words that end in O are typically masculine words. Okay? Like el chico, the boy. You can tell by the word too that it's masculine. Words that end in A are typically feminine, like la chica. Words that end in OR and masculine or ORA, we can tell the gender by the ending of the word. Like a word that ends in OR, el profesor. What's a profesor? Male teacher. And la profesora is a female teacher. So when O-R, O-R-A, it's like the cartoon Dora. She's female, right? Maybe that'll help you. A little bit of a reference. Words that end in I-S-T-A, like turista, artista. Those are masculine and feminine. How can we tell whether it's a male tourist or a female tourist? The article, absolutely awesome, thank you. El artista, la artista. Okay? Oops. Kind of changed words, but that's okay. The same concept. There we go. These words, joven and estudiante, I'm putting them in the middle because those refer to both genders. How do we know whether it's a male young person or a female student? By the article. El joven would be masculine. La joven, feminine. El estudiante, la estudiante. So the articles help us out. So these are just some general. O, typically masculine. A, typically feminine. Okay? And the last thing about nouns, we talked about living things. Non-living things or nouns. Living or non-living. You know, it's kind of hard to see. Someone scratched up my board. But non-living things, living things. So we have, once again, masculine and feminine. So just some generalities again. So if a word ends in O, it's typically masculine. Like el cuaderno. El cuaderno is a notebook. El cuaderno. Something that's feminine that ends in an a thing, la maleta. A maleta is a suitcase. So typically if a word ends in O, it's masculine. Ends in an A, the word is feminine. Typically. If a word ends in M-A, I just told you if a word ends in A, it's typically feminine. Well, if it ends in M-A, it's typically masculine, like the word problema. What's a problema? A problem. See? Words that end in D-A-D in Spanish, like comunidad, actualidad, those are feminine. So here's an example. La comunidad. La comunidad. Some other ones here. If it ends in an S, and I'm going to show you a correlation. I'm going to put two examples on here. El país, el autobús. What do those words have in common? They both have an accent. So if on the last syllable there's an ends in an S and there's an X in the I, it's typically a masculine word. On the feminine side, words that end in C-I-O-N. C-I-O-N. Those are the same words that end in T-I-O-N in English. So words that end in C-I-O-N, like la lección. Ends in C-I-O-N, it's feminine. La conversación. That's another one. That's feminine. Okay? Do you think there's more words than this that kind of follow some of these exceptions? Yep. But we don't, the only ones in our vocab are the ones we're responsible for. Right? Awesome. One last thing. I'm going to erase something up on the board. Just one last thing. So if you notice on all the notes over there, the nouns to my right, those are all singular things, right? The boy, the girl, the teacher, the teacher. How do we make these plural? How do we make them plural? There's just two simple rules. If a word ends in a vowel, like chico, chica, profesora, turista, problema, cuaderno, maleta. How do you think we're going to make those words plural? Add an S. Right. Add just an S. Chico, chicos. Chica, chicas. Profesora, profesoras. Turista, turistas. All right? And the second rule, if a word ends in a consonant, what's a consonant? A letter that's not a vowel. Absolutely. How are we going to make that plural? Like profesor, or autobús, comunidad. What do you think we're going to add? Add ES. Absolutely. Profesores, comunidades, lecciones. Okay? So, a lot of different things there. So I'm just going to put this for the video. These rules are on pages 12 through 14 in our V text. Okay? Perfecto.